Farms have always been places of profound change. For millennia, human hands and animal strength worked the soil. Then came the age of machines, with tractors that reshaped the very scale of what was possible. Today, we are witnessing another great transformation. A new kind of worker is appearing in the fields. These are robots, tireless and precise. They move through orchards, picking fruit with a gentle touch. They patrol rows of vegetables, plucking out weeds one by one. This is the new wave of automation, a response to the ever-present need to feed a growing world with fewer hands to do the work. It is a remarkable step forward, a mechanical solution to a very human problem. But this is only the beginning of the story. All across the globe, these new mechanical workers are making their presence felt. They come in many shape sizes, each designed for a specific, demanding task. Consider the challenge of harvesting. Companies like the former Abundant Robotics pioneered machines that could gently pick apples from a tree, a task once thought too delicate for anything but a human hand. These harvesters use cameras' soft vacuums to identify and pluck ripe fruit. They can reduce human harvesting labor by as much as 85% in some orchards. This is not about replacing people, but about filling a gap where workers are hard to find for seasonal, back-breaking labor. Then there are the guardians of the soil. In the vast fields of North America, Carbon Robotics has deployed laser weeding machines. High-resolution cameras let them distinguish crop from weed with incredible speed. Once a weed is identified, a high-powered thermal laser zaps it at the base. That eliminates weeds without disturbing the soil and without a single drop of herbicide. Other robots focus on the very beginning, planting. For all their strengths, today's robotic systems have inherent limitations. They are specialists, often brilliant at a single job, but incapable of performing others. This specialization means farms may need several different, expensive machines. This high cost of entry is a significant barrier for smaller family farms. A single autonomous tractor can cost upwards of $500,000 in investment, out of reach for many. Most of these robots operate on a reactive basis. They follow pre-programmed rules. A weeding robot sees a weed and removes it. A drone sensor detects a fungal disease, then triggers a spraying protocol. That response happens after the problem appears. The weed has already taken root and consumed nutrients. The disease has already begun to spread. True efficiency comes from creating conditions where threats are less likely to arise. A simple, rule-based robot cannot achieve that level of strategy. There is also the economic risk of rapid tech turnover. A farmer who spends a fortune today may find machines outdated in a few years. Newer models will do the job faster, better, more efficiently. That creates stranded asset risk, expensive gear becoming obsolete. Uncertainty makes farmers hesitant to adopt new tech, waiting for the next big thing. This is where artificial intelligence enters the story. AI is not another robot. It is the invisible brain that can connect all the disparate parts of the farm and make them work together as a single intelligent system. It does this by processing vast amounts of information in ways that are far beyond human capacity. One of the most powerful tools in the AI arsenal is computer vision. Paired with deep learning, this allows a machine to see and understand the world with astonishing detail. It is the technology that allows a weeding robot to tell the difference between 100 species of weeds and the crop it is meant to protect. This AI-powered vision goes far beyond simple identification. Systems developed by companies like Blue River Technology, now part of John Deere, can do more than just see a weed. They can assess the health of every single plant in a field as a machine passes over it. Is this corn stalk showing signs of nitrogen deficiency? Does this soybean leaf have the telltale spots of a fungal infection? The AI can detect these subtle clues long before they are visible to the human eye. This allows for an intervention that is not just reactive but preemptive, catching a problem at its very earliest stage before it can impact the yield. The true power of this AI brain lies in its ability to synthesize information from an incredible diversity of sources. A modern farm is becoming a vast network of sensors, each one a nerve ending sending signals back to the central intelligence. Tiny probes in the soil constantly report on moisture levels, pH balance, the availability of critical nutrients like nitrogen and potassium. These are the farm's sense of touch, feeling the condition of the earth moment by moment. This constant stream of data provides an intimate, real-time understanding of the foundation upon which all life on the farm depends. Looking down from above, a different story is told. Satellites orbiting the Earth capture multispectral images of the fields, revealing patterns of plant health across vast areas. A patch of yellowing in a satellite image might indicate a pest outbreak or an irrigation failure. Closer to the ground, drones equipped with specialized cameras can fly low over the crops, providing a far more detailed view. They can create a high-resolution map of the entire farm, plant by plant. This information from the ground and the sky is then woven together with other critical data streams. Local and national weather services provide forecasts for temperature, humidity, wind speed. Global commodity markets provide real-time data on crop prices, helping a farmer decide if it is more profitable to sell now or store for later. And the machines themselves contribute to this web of information. A smart tractor records precisely how much seed was planted in each row, and a connected sprayer logs exactly how much fertilizer was applied to each square meter of the field. The result of this data synthesis is a new era of precision in farming. The old way was to treat the entire field as a single unit. If the field needed water, the whole field was irrigated. If it needed fertilizer, the whole field was fertilized. This was effective, but also incredibly wasteful. With AI guiding the machinery, actions can be applied at a microscopic level, on a plant-by-plant basis. This is the concept of hyper-local treatment, and its impact is profound. It moves farming from a broadcast model to a surgical one, targeting inputs only where they are needed most. One of the most promising applications is microdosing fertilizer. Instead of spraying nutrients across a whole field, an AI-guided machine can deposit a tiny, precise amount of fertilizer directly at the root zone of each individual plant. It gives the plant exactly what it needs, no more and no less. Field trials for this technique have shown remarkable results, some farmers seeing fertilizer reductions of 30% or more, while simultaneously increasing their crop yields. This not only saves the farmer a significant amount of money, but also prevents excess fertilizer from running off into rivers and streams, protecting precious aquatic ecosystems. This same principle applies to pest and disease control. An AI-powered sprayer can move through a field, its cameras scanning every leaf. When it identifies a plant infected with a pest or a fungus, it applies a targeted microspray of pesticide only to that affected plant, leaving its healthy neighbors untouched. Perhaps the most futuristic application of this AI brain is the concept of the digital twin. This is a complete, virtual replica of the physical farm that exists inside a computer. This digital twin is not a static model. It is a living, breathing simulation, constantly updated with real-time data from all the sensors in the field. The soil moisture, the plant growth rates, the weather conditions, every measurable aspect of the real farm is mirrored in its digital counterpart. This creates an incredibly powerful tool for planning and experimentation. With a digital twin, a farmer can ask what-if questions without risking a single real crop. What would happen if I planted a different variety of corn? What if I changed my irrigation schedule? What if an unexpected heat wave arrives next month? The farmer can run these scenarios on the digital twin, and the AI will simulate the most likely outcomes based on decades of agricultural and climate data. A recent university study demonstrated this power when a digital twin predicted that a cotton crop would be ready for harvest 2 weeks earlier than the farmer's own estimate. The model proved correct, showing how such simulations can optimize timing and increase profitability. This level of control reaches its zenith in the world of controlled environment agriculture. In vertical farms and advanced greenhouses, every single element of the growing environment can be managed. When combined with robotics for harvesting and packing, these facilities can become almost entirely self-sufficient, a concept known as a lights-out farm. This technological leap, for all its immense promise, is not without its challenges. As farms become vast data engines, a critical question arises. Who owns the data? The information about soil health, yield performance, operational efficiency is incredibly valuable. Farmers rightly worry that this data, their data, could be used by large corporations without their consent or sold to third parties. Establishing clear rules and transparent policies around data ownership and privacy is absolutely essential to build the trust needed for widespread adoption. With increased connectivity comes increased vulnerability. A farm that is run by a network of interconnected sensors, robots, and AI systems is also a potential target for cyber attacks. A malicious actor could disrupt operations, steal valuable data, or even damage equipment and crops. Imagine a hacker shutting down an irrigation system during a heat wave or altering the nutrient mix in a vertical farm. Securing these agricultural networks against such threats is a challenge that must be taken as seriously as securing our financial or energy grids. The resilience of our food supply will depend on it. The very nature of farm work is also set to change. While AI and robotics will reduce the need for manual labor, they will create a demand for a new set of skills. The story of agriculture has always been a story of innovation. The robots arriving in our fields are the latest chapter, providing tireless hands to do the work. But the true protagonist of this new era is artificial intelligence. It is the brain that gives those hands purpose and intelligence. It is the conductor that transforms a collection of individual instruments into a symphony of precision and efficiency. By weaving together countless threads of data, AI allows us to move from reacting to problems to predicting and preventing them. This is the path to a more productive, sustainable, and resilient food system. By investing in this technology, regulating it thoughtfully, and ensuring its benefits are shared widely, we can help cultivate a future where our farms are not only more productive, but are also in greater harmony with the planet they sustain. That is a harvest worth striving for.